Hi YouTube, I hope you're well. It's a Wednesday night, it's time to film a video. So today I want to talk about how to choose a husband. So obviously I chose my husband like 20 something years ago, 21 and a bit years ago. And it's only after being married a long time that I can look back and think about what it was that made me think that he'd be good husband material. If you don't know me, my name's Sally. I have a YouTube channel here. I'm a yoga teacher, a counselor, and I also speak Mandarin. So a video recently got lots of views on YouTube and it was called How I Met My Chinese Husband. So it's obviously a topic of interest to people, so I thought I might expand a bit on that. So even though it says like How I Met My Chinese Husband, I don't think it really mattered that he was Chinese. I think the reason why I chose him was not because he's Chinese, but for other reasons. So I don't talk a lot about my family in my videos, although I do think that, happy to pass on some of these lessons and learnings that I have learnt along the way. So the three things that helped me to choose my husband and know that he was going to be a good one. The first one is like dependability, reliability. The second one is like how he's around his family of origin. And the third one is like some sort of similar personality traits. Obviously not all of them, but some of them. Let's talk about the first one. We'll talk about the dependability. So when I started dating my husband, he was extremely reliable. So we worked in town, both in office towers, and his office tower was probably about a 10-minute walk from mine. Each day, at some point during the day, he'd phone me up and say, when are you finishing work? I'll meet you downstairs. And I'd say, yep, I'm finishing at 6. And he'd be waiting downstairs for me when I left my office. And so he was very reliable in doing that. So that was nice. So he was obviously thinking about me during the day, organizing for us to catch up in the evening, which was nice. And he'd even actually, in the early days, bring me a cake in a box. He realized that I liked dessert, so he'd buy me a nice cake. But after like a week of eating cake, I was like, you know what, I can't eat cake every night. So maybe don't bring me a cake every night. But that was very sweet. So he was really thoughtful and dependable. And I think that reliability, knowing that he was going to turn up when he said he would, that each day he was thinking about, his routine with me, was super nice. And I guess it was showing me signs that he was going to be reliable when, in the future, when I would need to rely on him, like if I had a child and then I'd be caring for the child and I'd need him to be dependable. So that was good. I think that's a reason why I knew that he was serious and that he'd make a good husband. The second one is how he was around his family. So if I wanted to kind of get a sense of how his family of origin was, how the relationship was between them, and if they got along well and if they were close, because I think family is really important. And so I met his family and he had a close relationship with them and they got along well, so that was a good sign. And then thirdly, I suppose because I had traveled to China, learnt Chinese, I'd lived overseas for a while, I was high in that personality trait openness. So if you know from psychology, there are 5 main personality traits in psychology. So you can remember them by ocean. What's that word? Ocean. I can't think of it now. So you've got O for openness, C for conscientiousness, E for extroversion. A for agreeableness and N for neuroticism. In order for us to get along and enjoy a marriage, I think we would have both needed to be high in openness, because I was clearly high in openness. I like traveling, I like moving to new places, speaking a second language, and he was learning English, and he also was clearly keen to try new things. So when we went to Australia, he was really open to exploring Australia, and he really enjoyed the steak and the prawns, and he didn't really worry that he was missing his pork or his particular Chinese dishes. Interestingly, when his sister visited when we were getting married, we were here for I think 2 weeks, and she really missed the food, the Chinese food. So in that sense, I think my husband was high in openness. The other aspect of openness is like being able to appreciate art, and we both like spending time in art galleries. He liked buying up ancient art pieces, and one of the first things we did when we bought our house was to go shopping to buy a nice oil painting. So you'll probably see that in some of my other videos as well. So that shared kind of hobby was, I think, important as well. And so those were the main things. And so I suppose, like, I think I mentioned earlier that it wasn't really that he was Chinese. He was at an age where he was like feeling ready to settle down, and we had those things in common. And he was showing me that he was ready to like become a husband. So that's kind of what you need. He had a good job. He was a good relationship with his boss. He'd saved money and all of those things. So you can't really know until you're married, like how it's all going to go. So you are definitely taking a leap of faith. But I think if you look for those things, that's a good start. So for us then, after we got married, we didn't really fight about money. We're both pretty sensible with money. We didn't really fight about parenting either. So we both had very similar approaches to parenting, in the sense that we both were keen for me to breastfeed and co-sleep with the baby if the baby needed us to. So yeah, we had similar parenting stuff. I mean, we definitely had a lot of disagreements, a lot of arguments, which is normal when you're married, because that's how you figure out, you know, what's important to each other. When someone gets really angry, like, okay, this is really important to them, we're going to have to sit down and negotiate a way through this, figure out a path forward, because we can't keep having this argument. It's only when some of these things you cannot forecast, you just have to take a leap of faith and have a go. But it is worth working for. It's definitely worth the sacrifice. It's worth working for, and it does take a lot of work, is what I'd say. And yeah, if you just spending time together doing things that you enjoy, continuing to make that a priority in amongst the other needs that you have in your life is a really important thing to keep your marriage going. All right, YouTube, that's going to do it for me. So great to see you. Please subscribe to my channel. Please like the video. Leave a comment below if you've got anything, any insights into your own marriage or what you're thinking about in terms of choosing a spouse. And I will see you in the next one. Okay, bye YouTube. Thanks YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe. Okay, YouTube, I'm back. I keep forgetting to mention, so I did write a book. So I self-published a book a while ago. You can buy this on Amazon. I never really talk about it. It's probably the least promoted book ever. So the book is called 86 Dumplings of Insight into China. I self-published it. I did actually get it edited and like published. You can buy it on Amazon. So it's like a pretty quick read. It's actually like just mini chapters of insight that I've gained. I think I wrote it, did I first publish? 2014. So that's like more than 10 years ago. And so anyway, if you want to support my channel, you can buy the book on Amazon. and have a read. So there we go. There's like a little photo and the blurb. So this is the only thing that you can buy at the moment, but there'll be more things coming. Okay, YouTube, great to see you. See you next time. Also, it's always a good day to film a video when you've just been to the hairdresser. So I've had my massage, my shampoo, my cut, my blow dry. So definitely feeling like that was good timing for filming the YouTube video today.